So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on how to measure and report your data for the Climate Action Pledge using our free pledge reporting platform that we've developed in partnership with SustainIQ. My name is Jordan Burt, and I'm one of the Environment Advisors with Business in the Community. And today I'm going to give you a bit of an overview of our Climate Action Pledge and talk through what the process is for signing up and some of the support that we can offer you as well in reaching your pledge target. And then we're going to hand over to Maria from SustainIQ, who will do a run through of the pledge reporting platform. And at the end, we'll open up for a Q&A. So please feel free to use the chat function if you do have any questions throughout. And just a reminder that this is being recorded, so we'll be sharing the recording on our webpage and as a follow-up after the event as well. So the Climate Action Pledge is our challenge to Northern Ireland businesses to make a commitment to reduce their absolute Scope 1 and 2 emissions by 50% or 30% by 2030, and to measuring and reducing their Scope 3 emissions, all from a baseline year of 2015 or thereafter. And we also ask our signatories to report on their emissions each year using the pledge reporting platform that we've developed to us each year, which we then include in aggregated format within our annual pledge report. So a bit of an overview then of the process of signing up to the pledge. Throughout the year, we have been making some improvements to the platform with the help of SustainIQ. And just to note, if you're an existing signatory, that you don't need to register for the platform, and you'll receive a reminder email to submit your data each year. If you're a new signatory, you will register for our pledge reporting platform using a link in our how-to guide, which sits on our website and will be shared after this event. And once you're registered, you will then receive an email where you can go in and enter your emissions data and calculate your Scope 1 and 2 emissions on the platform. Then you will go through to the next page where you can complete your pledge commitment form and outline your chosen commitment level. Once you click submit, then Business in the Community Environment team will get in touch with you to share a pledge comms pack and your pledge certificate as well. So again, this is just a step-by-step of the process, and this sits within our web page. So I've outlined the link there to the side of the screen that you can access. And of course, we want to support businesses to sign up to the pledge and to reach the targets that you've set. So we offer a number of different areas of practical support. So we have carbon literacy training for your staff. We also offer a number of guidelines, toolkits, and sector-specific resources. We have a number of webinars on our webpage, and we have advisory support that your business can avail of. And of course, we have our pledge reporting platform. So again, this is a free tool that allows our pledge signatories to go on and calculate and report on their emissions each year. And if you want any more information on any of the support that's outlined on the screen, you can find more information on our webpage, or you can also access our Climate Action Resource Hub, which again is linked at the bottom of the screen. So I'm going to hand you over to Maria now. And just a reminder, if you do have any questions throughout the demonstration, to pop them into the chat box. And if there's any more specific queries, you can also email our team directly, and we'll get back to you after the event.
Thanks, Jordan. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I'm going to give you a quick live demo of how to use the reporting platform, but also kind of focusing today purely on those new signatories and how to access that via the Add Company link that will be available, like Jordan said, in the how-to guide that will be sent to you all. I'm just going to share my screen here quickly. So the first thing that you're going to do when you click the add company link, you'll be brought to a screen like this where it explains a wee bit about the Climate Action Pledge itself. As part of your requirements, you need to report on this annually. And then the very first page here is your registration. So you're going to fill in your company name, what type of organisation is it, privately, publicly or state-owned. Choose your sector from the drop-down here. And then the year the Climate Action Pledge is signed, which is this year if you're new. Again, this area here, reporting location or area. So we're aware that quite a lot of the companies signing up for this may operate in different jurisdictions. So we just want to know what's the scope of this reporting that you're submitting to us. The website URL. And again here, if you've got any social media links, this is optional, but it's good for the team at BITC to be able to connect with you. We then ask for 2 different contacts. So you've got your primary contact, that's the person who will be sent all of the emails for this. And again, the secondary contact is the fallback if we get any bounce back emails, for instance. So if you sign up this year and your primary contact is Maria, and then next year Maria has left the business, instead of that being lost in the ether, it will bounce onto your secondary contact as well. Just important as well to put the full name of your MD or CEO and the title of your most senior sign-off for the pledge. At the bottom here, you're going to choose your reporting period. So there's 2 options. You can choose calendar year or financial year. So again, if you choose financial year, we ask you to put in the baseline financial year start date. So you'll choose from these drop downs to add that. If it's calendar year, you just choose the year that your baseline year is in. So for this, I'm going to just choose 2019. We ask you to put in your baseline number of employees and your baseline company turnover. And then also really important is this area where you can upload your company logo. This is important because you will be sent a number of communications and your logo will be your kind of stamp on the top of those. Just underneath then, there's the GDPR statement, which explains that your data has been stored and shared on the SustainIQ platform for analysis purposes. And again, you can put in SustainIQ if you've got your the amount, for instance, of your kilowatt hours, and we will calculate your carbon impacts. But also, if you already have your carbon impacts calculated by another agency like the EPA, you can put in your total kg CO2 as well, which I'll go through. So when you press submit here, you get sent an email similar to this that was thank you for registering, and it'll send you a link here where it says please click here to enter your data. When you click that link, it brings you into this page, and this is essentially pre-populated for you based on what you've already entered in the registration page. You'll see at the top it says your GHG emissions have yet to be submitted. If there's a yellow box at the top like this, please be aware it means that you have not submitted. A number of people have saved and not submitted. So again, as you go down here, you'll see this is the area where you add your emissions entries. You're going to add each emission source singly. So for instance, this particular one, mobile combustion, burning oil, I've put it in litres, and I've got my baseline year, and then I've got my current year as well. Okay. The second one I put in mobile combustion, again, diesel and litres, but you can enter any number of those there. If I click add GHG emission just to show it to you, you can choose from fugitive, mobile, process, stationary, or utilities. Utilities being your electric, for instance. You can click the type. So again, I might be wanting to put in my mains electric here. I'm choosing kilowatt hours there. I'll put in my baseline amount and then my current year amount as well. Underneath each of these, you'll be asked to give a wee bit of a commentary on where those emission sources are coming from. So again, say for instance, if it's electric, you can say we have a log of meter readings, or we have a log of invoices for this particular entry. If you're unsure of what any of these mean, if you just scroll down a wee bit, there are 2 green tabs here. Click here for emission source definitions. So that's what these mean. Okay, so if you don't know what a fugitive emission is, you can click this green ribbon and it explains what each of the sources are. And just to hide it again, you can click it again. Again, if you wanted to just double check the conversion factors that are being used, you can click the green ribbon for the conversion factors and you can go through all of those as well. As you'll see here, it says, if you need to save your progress and finish the submission later, you can click the save button. When you do that, it will bring you, you will need to go back in to the original email that has been sent to you with that please click here link. Once you click into that link, it'll bring you back to your saved submission again. Okay, you don't get sent another email, it's the original email. Then at the bottom, again, it just asks you about your GDPR statement. You accept that and click continue to the pledge platform, and that should bring you through, hopefully. Something going on with mine here. And it brings you through into the next page, which will show you your emissions data source. Sorry, no. I'm just going to delete this one out because I think that's probably the issue. So it'll bring you into a page like this here, which will show your baseline emissions data, all of the entries that you've entered there for scope 1, scope 2, and it'll show you your 22 submission as well. At the top here, you'll see it'll show you the percentage of your total CO2 that's relating to each of your entries. And then if you scroll further over, it'll show you the percentage change from your baseline. So for instance, on this particular one here, you'll see we're minus 20% on the baseline year. So it's really useful to have. Again, this is the page where you're going to be able to accept your pledge commitment. And you'll see here, it explains a wee bit about this to you. You're pledging to reduce your scope 1 and 2 emissions, and you need to choose then which target you're actually going to use. So we commit to reduce scope 1 and 2 GHG emissions by 30% by 2030 from the base year, or the second commitment is by 50%. So you'll choose one of these, and then again, this is very important here as a proof that you've got a signature from your CEO or managing director. So can you just upload a JPEG or PNG signature at this point? You click, I have read and agreed to the information in this document. And again, you can open that link up for more information about the pledge. And then the final one is optional. We have, I know BITC have some members or others that are taking part in the pledge that would like to know where they're at in terms of the sector as well. So it'll be just about collating your scope 3 emissions there if to support those customers if you're willing to do that. So once you click submit, you'll get sent a number of different emails. So it'll say this particular one, which is thank you, your 2023 Climate Action Pledge data submission is now complete. Please see the attached, and it'll give you what your submission is. And that again is really useful for you to be able to use in the future as well with all of your calculations. It'll send you another email here to say that the BITC team will send you out a communications pack with resources to help you to reduce over the next number of years your emissions. And so again, you should see all those various different emails coming through as well. So hopefully that will show you that it's quite intuitive. It's you can step through it, and probably you know, we've made a number of changes from last year. One being that a lot of companies had said to us, we have calculated our kg/CO2 already for, say, for instance, process emissions and things like that. So we've included that in this. You can choose kg/CO2 if you have it already. So now, Jordan, I think that's kind of the run through from me. If there's any questions, we're more than happy to take them.
That's great. Thanks, Maria. I'll just go back into my presentation. Okay, so yes, thanks very much for that demonstration, Maria, and for creating such a great resource. Just a reminder again that that has been recorded. So if you want to take a closer look at any of the steps that Maria has gone through, we'll be sharing that along with a how-to guide as well. So last few bits of information, the window for submitting your data is open from today until the 28th of June. And that's for submitting your latest full 12 months of emissions data. So whether that's your calendar year or your financial year, whatever you choose to report on. And submitting within that window just will allow us to include your data in aggregated format within our annual pledge report. Okay, and we'll move on to any questions now.
So if you have any questions for Jordan or Maria, and thank you both for your presentations there, we'll take them now through the chat function. So if anybody wants to type in their questions into the chat, we'll give you a few minutes just to get typing, because I know it can take a wee while, and we'll see what we have to deal with today. If not, we will have some frequently asked questions that will go out along with the how-to guide, and you can follow up with us by email instead if you'd like to ask your question confidentially. The email's on the screen there, so environment@bitcni.org.uk if you'd like to follow up with us afterwards, or indeed if you are watching the recording back on our website once it's uploaded, you can follow up with us with any questions via the email then. So we'll give it another minute or two just in case anybody has any questions. If you don't have any questions, feel free to go on ahead and leave, unless you'd like to hang around and see does anybody else have any questions. And thank you all very much for your time so far. I see there is some typing going on. So we have Adrian here. So we had an issue with kilograms of CO2 not converting to tons in the summary page. Otherwise, we are good to go. So any response to that, Jordan or Maria?
Adrian, I'll have a look into it for you. It may be something that's rectified already. But if there's any issues like that, please do report it through to Jordan, and she'll let my team know. Sometimes it can be down to something as silly as a decimal point or something like that. So we will take a look at it for you.
Thank you very much for that, Adrian. You can see there's some more typing going on, so I just want to bear with us a wee second. Thanks, Adrian. And we are here as a team to help whenever you're going through this process. So don't worry, you're not on your own whenever you're subscribing to the pledge and you're using our platform. We're more than happy to assist you with any queries at any point. I believe for most of the inputs as well, there are wee question points beside it that you can tick on if you're particularly stuck with an area as well as you're moving through the pledge submission. No questions, Evan, for you. Thank you very much. Thanks for your attendance. I think if that's all the questions for today, we'll draw the event to a close. As I say, you can always follow up with us at environment@bitcni.org.uk if you have any issues or queries before you start the process, throughout the process, or even after you get your pledge document. So thank you very much for your time, and we'll draw this webinar to a close.